All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to say, call halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. That is to say, all praise to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom to the 144,000, as well as to the rest of the hopeful righteous elect, men, women, and children of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, among the heathen, as well as those that even look like the heathen. All right, this is not a black or white thing. I'm the brother Yara Donbar from the GMS branch here in Chicago, coming back at you with what I hope to be another short yet edifying lesson. All right, and through the Spirit, this lesson will be inspired by the video that you see on the screen, and the title will be "Fire Will Be Kindled." All right, fire will be kindled, and there's no way around that fact, man. All right, and this video came from the White House official page on TikTok, man, and all it is them boasting, and their thermonuclear capabilities. All right, and these things aren't being made for no reason, man. All right, that is the prophesied end of this place, man. Is to be burned with fire, man, to be turned into a desert. And that is what it is. So that fire will be kindled. All right. So I just want to get into a few scriptures. All right. And we'll call it a day. All right. So first I want to start here in Isaiah, the 9th chapter. And Isaiah 9:5, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and the fuel of fire." And that's those missiles, man. All right. Every other war that has been fought a lot of the times with ground troops, people with guns, and especially in the ancient world, it was what? Swords and shields, man. Now it transferred to guns, but now you see them making these thermonuclear capabilities, man. And that's going to be the end of the World War III. No questions asked. That's what it's going to have to be, man. Because the Lord said so. Point blank, period, man. And not only that, the Lord is coming back with fire too. All right, let's prove that a few times. Let's go on to Isaiah, the 66th chapter, and start at verse 16. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be many." Salakia, let me start up one. Isaiah 66:15, it says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse, shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh." And there it is, man. And he said he's coming with fire. And like I said, not only the fire that's going to be on those missiles, because the scriptures talk about how the Spirit of the Lord will be in those missiles, right? The Spirit of the Lord is a consuming fire. But not only that, the scriptures talk about how it's going to be the fire coming from the chariots, man. Let's get that real quick. Second Ezra, is it 15? No, 13. Second Ezra 13. And one that says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it." And that great mountain is speaking about the chariot, man, the fathership. All right, it says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Right? It's so big that you won't be able to see one end of it to the other, man. It's going to be crazy. Verse 8, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet there's fight." It says, "And lo, As he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire. The fire will be kindled, man. Had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So the Lord is coming with that fire, man. Let's go here. Luke, I believe it's Luke 12. Let me see. Luke 12 and 49. It says, I am come to send, and it's our Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. I am come to send fire on earth, right? We already read about him coming back with that fire. It says, and what will I if it be already kindled, right? Because guess what? There will be fire kindled. They're going to shoot those missiles off, man. We read that Isaiah the 9th chapter. Let's get a few more on it. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 16. It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, and these horsemen are right now are representing the missiles. All right, verse 17, it says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. But these three was the third part of men killed by fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. So yes, that fire is coming, man. This will be fought with the burning fuel and the flame of fire. Let's get another. The book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right, and we'll just start at the top. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble for the day. All right, Joel 2 and 1, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in mine holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. And again, this great people and the strong right here is going into the missiles, man. That's why I won't be any more like it, because it says it's going to beat their let me see. I can't remember where it's at. Yes, Micah 4 and start at 1. It says, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. We will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords and the plowshares, and their spears and the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So yeah, there you go right there, man. That's why I won't be a people like them ever again, anything like it ever again, man, because they won't study war. They won't learn war anymore. There will be no need for all of those things, man. They're going to beat those swords and the plowshares. They're going to be put to work. All right. So that's this people, a great people and the strong. This is going into the missiles, man. And it's going to go. You're going to see it more vividly as we go. Verse 3, Joel 2 and 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Look, let's go back. I already closed it out. Whatever. But those going into those missiles, man. You saw it at the beginning of this video. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Why? Because it's going to burn everything up, man. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as a horseman so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of the fire that devoureth stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march every one in his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Guess what, man? It's not going to be any misfire when the Lord had these nations shoot these missiles off, man. Every last one of them is going to hit their mark. Every last one of them, man. All right. Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. It's like in that movie 300 when he said what? Our arrows will blot out the sun. But you're not going to be Leonidas, man. It ain't going to be no fighting in the shade. It's going to be over with for you. Verse 11, and the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it, man? So, yeah, the fire is coming, man. The fire will be kindled. All right, so Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. With that, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom to the 144,000, as well as to the rest of the hopeful righteous elect, man. Shalom, Kwame Sharala, Wa Abba.